3, 2, 1. Oh my God, that's cold.
Wow.
Oh, it tastes good though. Welcome back to You Betcha Radio Podcast, the coldest podcast in all of the Midwest. I'm Miles, You Betcha guy. We got a great podcast lined up. We got Q&A. We got talking Super Bowl. And we got some vacation talk for us Midwesterners up here in the cold. So let's just get into the show. Here at You Betcha, we know that life is way too short to hold your own drink, and that's why we have the Bev Buckle. Now, the Bev Buckle is a belt buckle that is the world's first retractable drink holder. And I tell you what, this thing holds your Busch lattes like a charm. They are handmade here in the U.S., and these guys were also on Shark Tank. So they are the perfect gift for someone who loves to drink Busch lattes, but, just doesn't want to be bothered with the fact of holding the Busch latte. You can find these guys on their social media at BevBuckle or on their website, bevbuckle.com. That's BEVBUCKLE.com. And if you want 15% off of your order, use promo code YouBetcha with no space. That's YOUBETCHA. You Betcha, promo code 50% off at bevbuckle.com. And I hope that you guys love your Busch latte holder. I want to talk to you guys about U Motors, Motorsports and Marine, located in Fargo, North Dakota and Pelican Lake, Minnesota. They have all of the best brands: Honda, Yamaha, Ski-Doo, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, Nautique boats, Super boats, Supreme boats, all of the boats, and even Avalon pontoons. If you mention this ad, you can get 20% off parts and accessories, and obviously some exclusions may apply, but you can get 20% off parts and accessories. You can check them out on Facebook, Instagram, but also at their website, umotorsinc.com. Again, that's umotorsinc.com.
I would venture to say it's almost the nectar of the gods. Back, baby, back. I want my push. Oh my God, that's cold.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning into episode 5 of the You Betcha podcast, You Betcha Radio podcast.
There you go.
Remember, guys, you can find us on all social media platforms at You Betcha. That's at OHH You Betcha. We're kind of social media junkies. Like that's the business. That's what the podcast revolves around.
Yeah, it's like we were talking about how I wasn't able to get. I went on a little vacation this weekend.
Yep.
Just a weekend trip, and I didn't get a second post about the podcast. And it wasn't a lot less views, but it was just less views than what I'd want. So the grind never stops, the content never stops. And we kind of found that out last week, because that's the name of the social media game, really. And before we get into this, I need to apologize about my voice. Again, I went on vacation this weekend, and clearly I lost some of my voice. I kind of got a little cold going on, as probably most of us do in the Midwest at this point in time. So just bear with my voice. Kind of think that I got like a cool sounding voice though now. Like it's like a
raspy, like
I've been smoking for 10 years or whatever. But so sorry. Yeah. So Ryan, we just got done with our last t-shirt launch. Can I get like a Ryan, the t-shirt guy update? Can I get a Merch's Nest update on what's going on in the merch side of the You Betcha business?
Yeah, man. I'll just say this real quick. The Merch's Nest was on fire, literally. I think we were able to crank out all the shirts in like 2 nights while watching the Fire Festival documentary, which I had never seen before. So multitasking at its finest. I was able to crank all those out and be able to watch a pretty cool documentary too. So no, the merch it's on its way. If it hasn't arrived at your guys' doorstep yet, it should be
almost there.
Yeah. We had we thought it would throw a little hiccup into shipping last week because of like almost everything being shut down because of the cold weather.
Yeah. The place that we ship shirts out of that fulfills it all and stuff like that was closed for a couple bush burp right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Was closed for like a couple days last week when we wanted to ship them out. So shipping was a little more delayed, but it's just part of the business. And I hope that everyone who has their shirts, you love them and you post about it on social media because that helps our brand. It helps You Betcha grow. And who wouldn't want to show off some of the coldest shirts in all of the Midwest?
Yeah, 100%. And you know it's cold out when the mall shuts down. That's like the key around here is when the mall shuts down, you better go home and you better shack up with the blankets.
Well, that and the McDonald's, because McDonald's is like always open.
Did
I feel
McDonald's
like
closed down.
I feel like it did at one of the days. I don't know, but
yeah, but the merch is on its way, guys. Thanks again for that support.
Yeah, and what do we got coming up though?
Yeah, I was going to get to that. So the new merch drop is coming in very soon, probably sometime next week. We got some St. Patty's Day specials coming out.
And you may be thinking it's a little early for St. Patrick's Day, but with our system, it takes about a month from a launch to when we ship them out. So it actually put us right on pace to get everything to everyone by St. Patrick's Day. So
yeah, and I feel like the more we keep talking about this merch drop, like the colder I get.
Well, yeah, I'm like almost starting to nip out, and I'm gonna need to put on a jacket, I think.
It's a cold launch.
Yeah, the shirt that we're gonna drop, I've wanted to do like since the beginning, but I felt like I wasn't there yet. And it's been heavily requested. And all I gotta say is it's just so cold in here. So
We're
that's
there,
all
man.
I'll say about that.
We're there. Yeah, tell us a little bit about the big sponsor coming in on You Betcha Palooza. This is a big one.
Yeah, this one is cool because on the Ranch Wrangler, I reviewed Kickin' Ranch at Jimmy John's. So Jimmy John's is going to be one of the main sponsors for You Betcha Palooza. They're going to send their team or members of their team to come shoot video content, but they're also going to show up with Kickin' Ranch. They're going to show up with like stuff to eat with chicken or Kickin' Ranch or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're going to hang out. I think they're going to give out some prizes, some gift cards. So yeah, Jimmy John's is going to be at You Betcha Palooza.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. I was talking to some of their corporate members and they were super excited about it. They've been looking for events like this to come to and be a part of because they're heavily involved with like the Midwest culture and stuff.
Yeah. Well, they did that video like this last fall or last summer in the middle of a wheat field in
because they were launching
North Dakota.
Yeah, they were launching their wheat subs.
That's right.
And they did it in North Dakota, and it was actually like a really well done,
it was
cool
awesome.
video.
Yeah, I was so impressed.
They set up a Jimmy John's in the middle of a wheat field. So they'll have a tent there. They'll come. I think they should have some bag boards out there, cornhole boards. So like, yeah, I'm excited about Jimmy John's being there. They've been super supportive of We Do since the beginning. They sent me already a merch like package.
Yeah, so clutch.
I should hang my signed Jimmy John's photo up on this wall. They put You Betcha in as their top 10 favorite things of 2018. So that was pretty cool. And so they just have been really supportive of us, and they're going to be at You Betcha Palooza. So if you love Jimmy John's, you love subs, you love Kickin' Ranch, you gotta get to You Betcha Palooza. I don't know how much more we can beat the dead horse here on the podcast, but
I think we'll just keep doing it. It's part of the brand. I mean,
yeah. And so it's going to be super cool, super fun to have them there. I was super excited when I got the email. It said that they were all in. I'm like, yes,
let's go.
That just makes You Betcha Palooza that much more of a legit event. And I don't know, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, a lot of exciting things coming together with You Betcha Palooza. A lot of loose ends to tie up still, but
crossing
at the end of the
T's
day,
and dotting I's, as I like to call it.
That's what it is. So February 16th on Detroit Lakes in Detroit Lake, Minnesota.
Yep.
Detroit Lake in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota.
Yep.
Sorry, I flipped that around. It's going to be a good time. So on top of that, last week was a pretty big week for Miles, the You Betcha guy. Tell us a little bit about the 5 stages of shoveling.
Yeah, we got another video above 1 million views. It's approaching 2 million views.
I saw that.
So that is pretty fun. And it just goes to show that people crave the Midwest content. They crave stuff that's super relatable. And that's the stuff we're trying to put out. Yeah, it's just kind of fun to be able to like just go outside and shoot a video of like pretty much what I was going to do anyways,
Right.
just shovel. And be able to reach that many people. I think we reached like 3 million people, 21,000 shares or whatever.
Insane, man.
But yeah, I mean, that's the content game we're in. And it also shows like the people who support You Betcha are just sharing the crap at all the videos. And so that's super fun for us because, I mean, then it's like, it's free game to just create content that people like.
Yeah.
And we don't have to do anything other than just focus on the content. So, yeah, I got, again, every time that I talk about spotted cow in a video that gets quite a few views, I catch quite a bit of flack for it. The classic, like, you're ragging on spotted cow, but you drink piss water. Like, what's up with that? And I liked this video until he made that spotted cow comment. And now I shut it off and I hate it. It's like the people who can't take a joke. Yeah. The people who can't take a joke about a little back and forth about a beer of all things, the thing
Right.
that's supposed to be the most fun thing ever.
Yeah, the keyboard warriors show their true
So
selves.
I still stand by it. That shoveling is almost worse than drinking a spotted cow. So
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
yeah.
That makes two of us.
So yeah, whatever to those guys that are hating on it.
Yeah.
The comment that got the most likes on it, I'm going to give a shout out to this one. I don't remember who commented it, but it was hilarious. The lady says, I don't shovel, but I sit by the window with my bush latte while my husband's shoveling and I shoot him motivational thumbs up. I was like, oh, I bet there's so many women that do that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like, oh, you're doing a great
You did
job,
great,
honey.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm warm, but you look really cold, but like, I love you.
I see you're sweating out there. Could you use a towel?
Yeah.
I think we're out of beer for now, but
Yeah. So that was pretty funny. And I love it when like people get creative with the comments and not just comment something boring or whatever,
Yeah,
and I like it when people almost like upvote it by liking it. 'Cause
Right.
then you can get the best comments to the
Yep,
top
yep.
and really see that. But
dude, I enjoy seeing the top fan comment. It's cool to like see the audience like kind of labeled in a sense.
well, it builds a community for sure.
Exactly. So you're scrolling through the comments and you see the top fans a lot towards the top. People who like are super engaged with the content, who are liking, sharing, commenting on a lot of your stuff.
Well, and I try and when I am going through comments, that video was so hard to get to the comments of like commenting back to people because there were so
yeah,
many.
it was-
But when I am going through that, I do try. I will make like an extra effort. Oh, Ryan's breaking the mic again. That happened in episode 1, and
we'll
he
get
just
through
did
this.
it in episode 5 here.
It took me 4 episodes to get it again.
Ryan, I thought we solved that problem.
Yeah, we did, but episode 9 will be the next one.
Yeah, I definitely looked at comment back more to people who have the top fan badge, and a lot of people are wondering how you get that. And it's all about commenting, sharing, liking, and really just interacting with all of our content the most. And that's how you get a top fan badge.
Yeah. No, that's great.
So we don't have an interview this week, but we're going to do Q&A. So we put out a Q&A on Instagram and Twitter. And I'm going to answer a few questions this week.
Yeah, I'm going to essentially interview you.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So let's hop into the Q&A again.
Hit me with them, Ryan.
We're going to interview Miles, the You Betcha guy this week. Question number 1. Who was your favorite childhood athlete?
Now,
By the way, this is from at Jake W. Taylor.
at Jake W. Taylor. No numbers, so I don't think you like numbers very much on your handle, but thank you for the question. This one's tough because I had a lot of different, like through the different phases of life, you like different players.
Yeah.
But I just very distinctly remember being a huge Vince Carter fan. because he's like one of the greatest dunkers of all time, you know? And push burp. But here's why. When you go to the library at an elementary school as a kid and they make you check out a book, I probably checked out the biography picture book on Vince Carter about like 27 times in 1 year.
Miles, I thought you already read this book this year.
Oh no, you know what? I just really missed this one part. I forgot to read it like every single time. Plus the librarian was so old, she probably didn't even remember or care. But on the Dewey Decimal System with like the card in the back,
yep.
You know, like the last like 20 times were like my name with the stamp next to it, you know, like no one else had their name on that card. But I would say Vince Carter is one that sticks out in my mind. And then, I mean, growing up in the upper Midwest, you know, my parents are Vikings fans. So like Randy Moss and like Dante Culpepper, those years for the Vikings were, they were fun to watch. Brett Favre was fun to watch. But again, I grew up in a Vikings household. Right. So Brett Favre is kind of like a no-go.
Until 2009.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It was probably those ones.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite growing up?
I would have to agree with Randy Moss. The only sports jersey that I owned when I was younger was, and I don't even know if the Vikings wore these jerseys. It was a black Randy Moss jersey.
Wow.
Yeah, it was retro.
Was it like a
garage sale?
Was it like a starter?
Oh, absolutely.
The starter brand.
The retro starter official.
I think I know what you're talking about, to be honest.
Yeah. So Randy Moss, that was like my prime sports watching years. He was electric. He was my favorite athlete.
When Dante Culpepper got the roll going.
Oh my God, so electric. And
then one of my favorite plays too from that era was like at the end of a half, Dante Culpepper launched a ball to Randy Moss with no time left on the clock, and as he's getting tackled, he flips the ball over his shoulder. Wait.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it was Michael Bennett.
Yeah, it probably was.
I think it was.
Flips it over his shoulder and they score.
Chills.
That was an electric play.
That was great. That was great, man. Cool. No, I didn't expect the Vince Carter one, but Randy Moss, obviously.
Yeah, it was like one of those just random. He was dunking like no one ever dunked. You know, the honey dip is I think what they called that.
Yeah, your specialty dunk would be the ranch dip.
Yeah, the I like that, the ranch dip.
Okay, next question.
Who's it from?
Brenton Karkuff, not Kharkov, but Karkuff.
Almost had a vodka situation on our hands.
We did, yeah. Thanks again for your question, Brenton. This is the question that everyone has heard in their lifetime. Can I get you a side of ranch or blue cheese with that? Now, Miles, what is your opinion on blue cheese?
Yeah, obviously I'm a very pro ranch guy. It's pretty out there. I've been very public about being a ranch guy. I am not a blue cheese guy. I don't like the taste. I don't like the smell. It looks similar to ranch, and so that's the worst. You're not really paying attention to the ranch, right? You like got some wings or whatever, and they bring you blue cheese. And you don't pay attention, and you're just kind of like doing your thing. And you take a wing or something, and you dip it in there, and it's blue cheese, and you put that in your mouth. A lot of times I can smell it before I put it in my mouth.
Well, you should be able to tell by the viscosity of it too. Yeah.
Well, some restaurants got some really crappy high viscositized ranch, Ryan. And then you get that blue cheese taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
So no, blue cheese, I am out.
Yeah, I'm out on blue cheese as well. It's like, and honestly, I don't remember the last time I had blue cheese, but I'm just gonna go with the fact that like I'm not willing to take a chance to like ruin my batch of wings or like ruin my fries with blue cheese just because I want to try it. So
I imagine that people who eat blue cheese also drink spotted cow. And I just think that those two probably go hand in hand. So
that's an interesting observation. Yeah, I
don't have any stats to back it up, but I'm just guessing.
Fact check that.
Yeah.
All right, Brenton, thank you again. Miles does not like blue cheese. He is a ranch guy through and through.
Yeah. I should make a screw your blue cheese shirt or something like that.
Yeah.
I do need to make a ranch series shirt line.
It'll
That
come.
might come
It'll
in like March or something.
Yeah, when the month that ranch is most popular in, which
Yeah,
I have no clue.
we'll-
I have no clue.
I'll,
what that would be.
I'll make Ryan do some research on that.
We'll look it up. All right, next question comes from at Meg Close.
At Meg Close, what's your favorite number, Meg?
There is no number.
I know. I need to know what her favorite number is.
2.
She didn't put it in. She didn't put it in her name.
She didn't put it in her name. We're gonna go number 2. What is your opinion on pickles, olives, clamato added to your Busch Light?
I've been asked this a few times. I've been kind of silent about it. I'm not against it. Now, I've been vocal in the past about how when you have a skunky beer like a Corona or something with like a clear bottle or whatever, you have to put a lime in it to mask the taste.
The skunkiness.
Yeah, limes are like maskers is what I kind of like to say. So putting a lime in or around a Busch Light, I would say is like, it's a hard pass for me.
Yeah.
But putting a pickle, putting olives and stuff, I don't do it really ever. But there's once in a while I'll be like, you know, I just kind of like that taste combination.
Yep.
And I like to call it a beer and a spear, a pickle spear.
Yep. I like that.
And some people are like, oh, that's so girly to do that. And it's like, sometimes I just like the taste. Nice bush burp,
Thanks,
Brian.
buddy.
Sometimes I like the taste of a beer and a spear. I'd rather do a pickle than olives. Now, people who put clamato, tomato juice, my mother puts tomato juice, not clamato. She's very vocal about that at the restaurants. And like almost like grabs the waitress or waiter and is like, do not bring me clamato juice. You better bring me tomato juice. I just don't like that flavor.
Sure.
But I don't like Bloody Marys either. So I kind of just.
It goes hand in hand.
Yeah. But so if I had to pick any of those, I would go pickle, olives. And that's probably it.
Yeah.
It's not wrong. Like people who do it, like fine, I understand it. You like the taste. And I also think that it also though gets like a bad rap of people saying like that you're girly or whatever. It's like people just like to drink their stuff however they want to drink it.
Right.
What about you?
So I like to hack the system a little bit at restaurants. If I'm going into a restaurant super hungry and I have to sit there for another half hour to get my food, I'm going to order a beer and a spear. So that like halfway through this beer, I can take the pickle out and have a little appetizer.
Another hack you could do is get like olives on the side.
Yeah.
Say like, I don't know, whatever. And then you just have olives to eat while you're waiting too.
But I think like people who put pickle juice in their beer, like there's some.
Yeah. And I'm not a big fan of that.
There's something wrong with that. But no, for one, I like the taste. For two, I'm usually hungry. Yep. So I'm going to get that extra appetizer for free. Yeah. It's hacking the system.
We call that, it's like it's like a beer and appetizer before your appetizer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's your pre-appetizer.
Yeah. The clamato thing, I like clamato in my beer. It just makes them flow so much better. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about the taste. Like the taste it's not like knock you off your shoe.
We're gonna have to start calling you Ryan the Clamato guy, I guess.
We could pull an audible with that.
I didn't know this about you, Ryan.
And this isn't like the norm for me though. This is like
you would do one with that.
I would do one, yeah. Plus a pickle. Wow.
Sounds like you're just turning this into a Bloody Mary. I need a big celery stick in there. I need some more garnishes.
I need some Jack Links.
Yeah.
All right. So our thoughts on any additives into a beer. I think we're both on board with it, just not overbearing.
Yeah. You don't need to be a hardo about it, just like anything.
Right.
What's the next question, Ryan?
This one comes from Austin R. Jordan.
Are you related to Michael Jordan, Austin? You got to let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Because Michael Jordan's the only one with the last name Jordan in the world, and so you must be related to him.
Yeah, and it's AN, JORDAN, and not YN. So it's.
Yeah, most Jordans are like that, Ryan.
Okay, so a lot of people have been talking about this. We've been getting a lot of questions on this. What are your thoughts on the Bud Light commercial taking aim at beers brewed with corn syrup?
We're going to wait with that one, okay?
Okay.
Later in this podcast, I think actually like the next segment, we're going to talk all things Super Bowl. And so
Let's just talk about this with that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll wait till then.
All right. Austin R. Jordan.
Michael
Jordan's cousin.
Michael Jordan's cousin, you can wait.
Okay. Bird is the word. Caleb Guerder. Is it disrespectful to mix ranch with other sauces?
No, I don't think if you can do it right and do the right ratios, you could have almost just a magical experience with other sauces.
Give us an example.
For example, I like to get my wings naked sometimes with no sauce. Get barbecue sauce and ranch, and then you mix them together, and then you only got to dip once for what we call oh my gosh, I'm blanking. The like most efficient eating experience. One dip and eat.
Sure.
By literally mixing barbecue sauce and ranch.
Yep.
I haven't tried a bunch of other combinations, so maybe that would be something to poll the people on is what combinations do you like with ranch?
What is the Jimmy John's Kickin' Ranch?
So
is that sriracha?
I don't know necessarily what to put in it, but it is got the reason why it's called Kickin' Ranch is there is a little bit of a spice to it.
Okay.
And I'm sure that they have it somewhere, the ingredients. I just don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
But yes, I am on board. I'm on board with mixing ranch with other stuff. As long as you don't get too over the top. I feel like a good like a mayo or a honey mustard or something would go well mixed together too.
Well, that just shows the versatility of ranch. And
what can't ranch do, Ryan?
Right. Whereas like if you just took a mayo, you couldn't. I mean, my dad mixes mayo with ketchup and mayo with mustard, but it's not the same.
Not the same.
Not the same at all.
I think you got one more, right?
No, we're just waiting on Austin R. Jordan's question for when we talk Super Bowl.
Yeah, there was. I mean, that was
good.
It's kind of funny because it's like a mixture of ranch questions and Bush questions.
The brand.
So people know what I like and what I don't like. Apparently,
but there are some curveballs thrown in there.
Oh, there was one question on Twitter. The question on Twitter was, in the modern day of technology, how are we unable to? Why can't we leave a group text? This is from Greasy Tony's. First of all, Tony, please share your snowblower, you little bastard. Secondly,
screw you, Tony.
Tony, you can. If you have an iPhone with a group message with a bunch of other iPhones, you can now leave the conversation. So, you need to get up with the technologies, I think, Tony.
Hey,
there probably is a decent amount of people who don't know that. So I'm not going to shame Tony.
Yeah.
But Tony, you can leave. You can leave the conversation now if you're on an iPhone. Now, Android, I have no idea because I don't think anyone even buys Androids anymore. I don't even know where to buy an Android.
Cricket Wireless.
What does an Android phone look like at this point? I have no idea.
I don't know, man.
But you can leave now. So all you need to do is just Google search it and it'll give you the directions on how to leave a group message. And you're welcome, buddy.
I gotta tell you a quick story. So family group texts, we can all relate. Everyone's in that one family group text around the holiday season, trying to figure out plans and like where everyone's staying and all this kind of stuff. My brother will savagely leave the group text, and at the very bottom of the thread on the group text, if someone leaves, it says, my brother's name is Brett. It says, Brett has recently left the group text.
I want to start doing that. So we do have this bit going in our family that my brother's fiance, actually, we tell when we're making plans to like meet up for dinner or something, we just always tell her that we're going to meet her at Space Aliens. And so we'll be having Christmas at my parents' house and be like, oh no, we actually just changed the location. You should go there. You should go there first and save us a spot at Space Aliens. And like all this stuff about, we're going to meet her at Space Aliens, air quotes. So you can have some fun with some group messages, I think.
She's never fell for that, has she?
If she has, she has not told us.
She's not lived up to it.
No.
Yeah, I get it. I probably wouldn't either.
Oh my God, that's cold. All right. Super Bowl was this weekend. What'd you do, Ryan? What'd you do for your Super Bowl?
Just the casual, go over to some friend's house, sip on a few beers, eat my face off.
There you go.
I don't know. I mean, like Sunday night at the Super Bowl for me was just kind of like to get around friends, hang out, like have good conversation.
You weren't very invested in the game.
Not really. Not after the first quarter. Mm-hmm. I don't know. There was no momentum.
Yeah, me and my family just got together. I won some money, so
yeah. I mean, that's
not to brag,
that's
but
a win right there.
Yeah, won some money there. Yeah, my thoughts on the Super Bowl, I think, is where we'll start. Everyone's complaining about how uneventful it is, how uneventful it was, but I mean, push burp. For a game to be that low scoring, the two best teams supposedly in the league is absolutely wild. I think that the Rams were kept in check because the Patriot coaching staff is so good and we're so well prepped.
Yep.
The Rams almost look like they were very fresh and new to the big stage like that.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Whereas the Patriots had a little more swagger about themselves. Like,
yep.
All right, this is like the 9th time we've been here in however many years.
Yeah.
Like, this is just
they know
another
the game.
Yeah, this is just another like. This is our MO. This is what we do. Commercials wise, I think that's what the people really care about.
Give the people what they want.
So here's what's happened. I think that the Super Bowl commercials have been on this steady increase, right? Of like gaining more and more attention, and they were kept getting funnier and funnier.
Yep. And
people kept being more and more excited about them. Well, we've reached that threshold point where it can only get so funny.
Yep.
And now there's so much hype and focus on it that people like are expecting like this crazy thing to happen.
Right.
When in reality, they're just commercials. Like nothing like that crazy is going to happen.
I feel like there's a lot of the same commercials just on everyday TV, but people don't pay as much attention to them.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. The attention's there. But the expectation is so much higher that it's like getting difficult for these brands and stuff to keep coming up with crazy stuff. But for the amount of money they're paying,
what's a 30-second commercial cost these days?
I think it's like $5 million or something like that.
Yeah.
But what I have to say about it is a little bit too, is I think that now I'm about to get real deep, ladies and gentlemen. I think
get ready
that as a culture in the United States, I think that our humor level has moved past and has changed from the humor of a TV commercial. The humor that you see in a TV commercial versus the humor you see online versus the humor you hear on radio stations versus the humor you hear at a comedy club is all different, right?
Yep.
When The Office came onto the TV, there was no laugh track, and that was one of the first TV programs that didn't have a laugh track.
Right.
But it was like good timing because we were all kind of used to and kind of gotten over the laugh track comedy thing, right?
Yep.
And so that was perfect timing, and that aligned perfectly with where the culture was of like ready for something new. We now have the internet, and I believe that the U.S. and Just people in general, their comedy has moved past the one-liner TV commercial stuff and moved more into a social media world where stuff's a lot more real, not as staged, all that kind of stuff. And so I think that to get a laugh is really hard on a TV commercial nowadays because our taste in humor and taste in commercials and stuff has changed. And really deep thought.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was really deep, but I just needed to get that out of my system.
When we've had that
what
conversation.
Do you think? Do you agree with me?
I'm 100% on board. I don't really even want to elaborate on it because it's just going to be a reiteration of what you just said. And we've talked about this many times before. Yeah. That's why. And
I'm not saying that some of them weren't funny because I thought that the one that Steve Carell was in, it was funny. It was like a Pepsi commercial.
Yeah.
I thought that one was funny. I'm trying to remember. That's what's tough is like exactly. There is so much.
There was they tied Game of Thrones in with Bud Light.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big Game of Thrones hardo, so
but you're not a big Bud Light hardo.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a sec here.
Okay.
So that's how I feel about the commercials. Nice one, Ryan.
Thanks, buddy.
We're at an interesting time. I think it's kind of like a crossing point in culture and basically television and commercials and stuff like that is just different than it was 3 years ago when it kind of like felt like it was at its peak of humor and attention. I'm not saying that I still think people watch them and try and watch every commercial they can. That's kind of become a culture.
Yeah.
But to get people to laugh and be entertaining and be impactful is tougher. Now so we'll go back and forth on which one was our favorite. And then we'll talk about the Bud Light one. Okay. Do you have a favorite in your mind, Ryan?
Man. Honestly, I can't even remember what.
Well,
my
Ryan
favorite.
Slept through the Super Bowl, so
good conversation. I was wrapped up, man. I was wrapped up in good conversation.
Oh man,
I was one that I was looking for though was the Budweiser Clydesdales and the yellow lab puppy that they had followed in 2014, 2015 as a puppy. I wish they would have kept going on with that story, like as the dog grew up.
Yeah, because it was just them going through the Clydesdales, just like doing their
befriending
thing.
The dogs. Essentially, like the puppy ran away one time and was like,
yeah. But what was it this year? It was just like
it was like a Dalmatian, or it was a completely different dog, which I was so thrown off by.
Well, the dog probably died, Ryan. R.I.P. to the.
Well, he was a puppy in
dog.
2014.
I don't know. Might have had a tragic accident.
I'm not gonna let you land us on that one.
I think that's one of those things where, like the Budweiser, because that's what that commercial's for. They're so caught up in tradition that they think that everyone wants to see those horses and thinks it's awesome that everyone no one cares.
Yeah,
I don't care to see those horses.
Yeah,
cool. I don't know. I think that. They had I think they need to move on.
Yeah, I think they're just prolonging the story. And now it's just to a point where it's like, okay.
Well, I think that corporate America moves like an inchworm.
Oh, 100%.
And so for them to come up with they literally had an entire year to come up with a Super Bowl commercial because there's probably a team that just does a Super Bowl commercial.
Yep.
And they just came up with the same thing that they've been doing for 30 years.
Great job, Jimmy. I'm promoting you to the corner office.
All those people deserve raises, I think. But yeah, my favorite ad was actually at the very end.
What was your favorite ad, Miles?
Well, there was two good ones. The NFL 100 players where all the players were in it were good. That was probably
good.
In a more popular sense, one of the better commercials. Now, the one that people might have missed because they might have turned the game off was at the very end. They brought in, it looked like it was just going to be an ad. Verizon did it. It looked like it was just going to be an ad for thanking the service members for their service. Oh, push Bert.
Wow, man.
And it was an NFL coach. The coach had been in a life-threatening accident and survived.
Saw that one.
Yeah. And what the guy didn't know was that the people who saved his life that night were standing in the room.
Wow.
it was tough to like hold back some tears on that one.
Was Clay Matthews on that commercial too? Was he one of the? Because did the
I think
commercial?
it was just the one guy.
Okay, because there was also a commercial that was like, this team wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for the first responders who saved them.
Yeah.
And then there was like a wall of pictures, like professional athletes, coaches, whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Clay Matthews
I
and
missed
like
that
all
one
these
then, maybe.
higher level players that these first responders had gotten called onto and saved the lives of
Right.
these people. So different commercial, but kind of same concept. I thought
Yeah.
that was cool.
That one was like, I was like, wow, that was like made me feel an emotion. And I think that's what you want out of a TV commercial, is to like make people feel something. And they crushed it. So kudos to Verizon. That was my favorite one besides like the NFL top 100
That was
one.
good.
That was just funny to see all
Yeah.
the former players and
And then that random guy at the end.
yeah.
Do you know who that was?
I
saw something about it on because Jalen Ramsey like swatted the ball out of his hands and he tagged the guy on his Instagram post of that video.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Some
Okay, so let's talk Bud Light here.
a lot of questions coming through the Q&A.
This is very rare to talk about Bud Light on basically a page that only promotes Busch Light. Same family though. I like to tell people that.
Yeah.
If I'm at a bar and they don't have Busch Light, probably go Bud Light next, just because I want to keep it in the Anheuser-Busch family.
Interesting.
That's probably a question that we get a lot.
Yeah.
So my initial thoughts, I really liked that it felt like, because they had multiple commercials about it throughout,
Okay.
it felt like it was like a story, right?
Yep.
So it wasn't just like one scene thing, right? The fact that like, I love the idea of like Miller Lite having its own castle and Coors Light having you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the thought of
Yeah.
like that. And I'm all for like rivalries and like people, you know, going at each other
Yep.
here and there. So, but I think it was really funny that they chose corn syrup, because it's like one of those things that's like so like, that's like so petty to even like point out that it's like kind of funny. And I don't know what their angle was of why they chose corn syrup or whatever. I'm sure they've done a bunch of market research that people care about not having certain ingredients in their beer and this and that. But I just thought it was super petty to point out that the other two have corn syrup in them. But I also liked the like Game of Thrones feel, and like that there was like separate castles for each beer. Was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Partly because I am such a big Game of Thrones fan, but
Yep.
yeah, I thought it was good. I think that people remembered it. I mean, that was the most asked question we got on the Q&A was about the Bud Light
The Bud Light
commercials.
corn syrup. Yep.
And so the goal is to get people to remember your commercial, and I think they did that. What do you think, Ryan? You got a smirk on your face.
All right. I mean, I just like, let's just set the record straight. Like corn syrup, no corn syrup, you guys were still drinking beer, and it's not getting any better for us. Like, it's great to just sit down, enjoy some beers, like awesome. But don't go on a diet and be like, well, now I can drink Michelob Ultra because it's organic, or I can drink Bud Light because it doesn't have corn syrup. Like,
So
you guys, we're still drinking beer.
Ryan
no
is
better for
completely
you.
on his fitness soapbox here, and we're going to let him keep going. I want you to keep going, Ryan.
I mean, I don't want to get into too big of detail, but it's man.
This commercial has clearly upset Ryan, the t-shirt guy, guys.
It did, because I mean, you said it yourself. It's petty. It's like, let's see what company can come up with the most ridiculous marketing scheme in 2019 to overdo their competitors. So Mich Ultra is now an organic beer. Like, great. You start drinking organic beer. You're not going to get any healthier. Start drinking beer with no corn syrup.
So,
You're not going to get any
Ryan,
healthier.
I'm going to pause you here. You have to remember that this is marketing and it's not practicality.
100%.
Marketing does not equal practicality. Actually, people who market on practicality are probably going to do a lot worse than people who market on impracticalities.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
And so if you look at it through the eyes of a practical person, it's probably going to irritate you and you're going to be very mad.
As a Midwestern podcast and as a Midwesterner myself, and as someone who is close to farm families, I think that's pretty upsetting to a lot of corn farmers in the Midwest. I saw a lot of posts.
People who farm barley and the other ingredients that are in Bud Light.
Well, if they farm barley, they probably farm a little bit of corn too. I mean, not all of them, but
yeah, I think that you're right on that, and I think that that's part of it. I mean, if you're a Midwestern and you're a farmer and you're in that industry, yeah, that sucks. But you weren't. It's not like all of a sudden they're not going to have. They didn't have the corn syrup sale to Bud Light before the commercial. They're not going to have it after. So I don't think that has really changed much. And I don't think anyone other than the actual farmers are really thinking about the fact that screw corn or anything like that. So I think that gets tougher to sell that. But I will agree, because I took some flack for doing the drink Bush, not milk on Christmas thing from like, hey, support your local dairy farmer.
Yeah.
I guarantee that milk sales were not impacted by my campaign. So I apologize to any dairy farmers out there who thought that it was a smear campaign on their business and their livelihood. It was not. I love dairy farmers. Part of it. And I don't know, man. It's one of those things that was, the corn syrup thing is so out there and so something that no one thought they were going to come out with, that it's very memorable. I don't know. I thought it was decent. I know exactly, push burp, where you're coming from. But I'm not upset about it, but I'm also not like, that was the best ever or great. I think they could have come up with something a little more funny.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, so what's next? What's the next big move by Miller Lite or Coors Light?
I don't know. I just hear, I haven't heard anything. Miller Lite is constantly talking about, like, they run some ads I've seen about like Bud Light and whatever.
Yep.
Since Coors Light has had like the silver bullet, people all over the world join hands. Since that, I don't remember a Coors Light commercial really.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
Did they get in trouble for saying that their beer was like brewed with like water from the Rockies, or like brewed in the Rockies, or because it was? I thought I heard that at one point, but
maybe. But they've been pretty silent, so I'm not think that nothing's really going to happen with them. Miller Lite is kind of like, I feel like they're a little more savage, so they might come back with something. But
Miller Lite, the first beer without carbonation, because carbonation leads to an unhealthy lifestyle.
Well, without carbonation, it's not beer, Ryan. So
no, that's my point though. Like, what's the next big move? Like
anything, man. It can literally,
right.
No. If they're gonna come up with corn syrup, they'll come up with anything.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what just what I'm curious about is what's
the Miller Lite brewery is within 5 miles of a dumpster. This is basically a dump.
This is pollution.
Yeah,
to the Miller Lite plant.
The last thing I'll comment about the Super Bowl is they killed the Bud Light night. No, so that tells me a little bit that they're going to end the campaign, the dilly, the Game of Thrones feel type of campaign. It felt like they were going to kill that off by killing the Bud Light night.
I saw an article today. I can't remember who posted it. I think HBO insisted that Bud Light killed off the night at the end of that commercial.
They probably paid them more too for it.
Yeah. So why that move on their part, I'm not sure. Maybe it's the Game of Thrones HBO tie-in. Like,
well, I think that it's long overdue. They've been running dilly commercials and that scheme for
so
a very long time.
And it caught on. But
yeah, and I think if they don't kill it off after this, it's really going to be just beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
They need to come up with something new.
Like the Budweiser Clydesdales.
Yeah. Well, they're beating a live horse. Yeah. At that point, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. No, I didn't mean like beat the Budweiser Clydesdales.
Yeah, okay,
I meant like the shtick of that campaign. Just make that clear.
Yeah. So that's my thought on the Super Bowl. I think Tom Brady,
He's a
he
go,
didn't
man.
have to do much this game though.
No.
But he still led the team. He still makes throws when he needs to. People are complaining about the fact that he didn't have to make any hard throws. And it's like, well, part of being on a good team and part of being a good quarterback is you want to put yourself in situations where you don't have to make hard throws. So you can't hold that against him.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's still got 6 Super Bowls. He's still the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
He took 1 snap in the red zone. Jared Goff took 0.
Yeah.
Which is so wild.
I think that the Rams look shell-shocked, but yeah,
they'll be back next year. Maybe not to the Super Bowl, but
I think that Gronk might retire, and I think that Tom Brady will come back.
Agreed. Yeah, Gronk's up in the air. He's talked about it before. He's like, man,
I hope that they don't come out what their decision is, and it's opposite of what I say before this releases.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, Super Bowls are fun.
But Super Bowl's over, and now we just have nothing. No football left.
It's February. Wow.
Give me a, oh my God, that's cold. See if you can do it.
Oh my God, that's cold.
Way too fast. We'll have to work on that, Ryan.
I didn't want to replicate yours, so that I'm
want
pretty sure
your
you
own.
have a trademark on that.
I'm trying to, man. I don't know. I feel like I got to hire a lawyer for that.
Yeah. Well, we'll figure that out.
Whatever.
Man, it's February. We just had in the last week and a half, school has been delayed 2 hours, 2 days. It's been canceled 2 other days. The mall shut down. What are your thoughts on February?
So, honestly, now that NFL football is over, there's really nothing to look forward to.
Not until March.
Until March Madness. This is the most. I feel like one of the other than there's a month in summer.
But there's something going on February 16th.
Yeah, I was getting there, Ryan. I was trying to build it up. Okay. Yes. Other than the You Betcha Palooza, the greatest event ever on the ice, the only ice hole tournament in all of the Midwest, $500 cash prize. You Betcha Palooza, February 16th. Be there or be from the West Coast.
Dude, that was really good.
Yeah. Ryan, you got a case of the giggles again.
I know, man. I told you I wasn't going to do that, but that was worth it right there. That was solid.
Yeah. February, other than You Betcha Palooza, which is part of the reason why I wanted to throw something in the winter, is because there is not a ton to do. I feel like it's one of the most dead times for a Midwesterner of the year. There's not a lot going on. In the summer, there's not much sports going on, but at least you can have you can go to the lake.
Right.
And so I also feel like this is a time when a lot of people will take their warm vacation for the year. I feel like I don't know, maybe not most, but a lot of people will take one warm trip a year in the winter. If you're from the Midwest, you usually take a week or whatever. And then you go somewhere warm and you drink and hang out and don't do a whole lot and relax. I don't know. I'm gonna do that the first week of March.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm a late February, early March.
Mostly because we'll go to California.
Yep.
And so it's still not very warm in February and January there.
Yep.
I mean, granted, it still is compared to negative 30.
65 is
yeah. But a lot of people go to Mexico or the Bahamas or wherever. You can go there any time of year. It's going to be warm and nice. But yeah, February is I feel like the prime time to take a Midwest vacation to somewhere warm. I don't know.
Yeah, I went to Mexico last year. I think it was the first week in February, and it's just such a good time to get away.
Yeah. It's you do it once a year.
Right.
It's the thing you like. I know that people are like counting down all winter long. That's like what makes it that 1 week of warm weather amidst the negative degree temperatures is like what keeps everyone sane for entire winter in the Midwest, which is kind of funny. But people got countdowns. That all the girls on Instagram.
Now Instagram has a new feature where you can count down with your story.
Down. And when they go on their week vacation in February, they take enough
50 photos.
They take
for the
enough
next 50
photos
weeks.
to last until summer. So it looks like they've been on vacation the entire way.
Hashtag wish it was summer.
Hashtag take me back. That's
yes.
Girls love putting hashtag take me back in their old vacation photos.
To the warm weather and cold drinks.
This cold weather got me thinking about sitting poolside. Just whatever. But I feel like there's and families that don't go on a warm vacation, I feel like a lot of them go on a ski vacation.
Sure. Which is equally as fun.
Yeah, it's not warmer, but it's way more fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that you're probably either like, if some families probably do both, but I feel like if you're gonna go on a ski vacation, you kind of do that in December.
Yeah.
More around Christmas or like early January. And then when it gets in the later months is when you go on the warm vacations more. I don't know.
Yeah, because I feel like in the last few years in December, there hasn't been as much snow.
Yeah.
So you hit the ski trip when there's a lot of snow in other places. So when you come back, you're probably able to ski around your area or what have you.
Yeah.
Or you're going to
there's all these little hills that are considered places to ski. Yeah.
Like the DL Mountain.
Yeah, in Detroit Lakes. If you want to come up a day early to Detroit Lakes, you got to hit up DL Mountain. Yeah. Yeah, it says mountain, but it's just a really big hill.
It's a hill.
I look forward to that vacation. And I do it late enough in March to where it almost signifies the end of winter for me.
Yeah.
It's like I go on that vacation. When I come back, stuff's going to start melting. March Madness is here.
Yep.
You get that summer or spring fever. Spring fever is the best. The first day you can go outside without a coat on is like,
man. Or just like a hoodie with a cap on.
Oh,
the best weather.
Yeah.
And because summer's boom right around the corner,
just can taste summer.
I'm itching that.
Oh, I can't wait to get a boat in the water.
Boat in the water, a floaty blown up.
Drink some Busch Light on the pontoon. There's just nothing better than taking a warm vacation as a Midwesterner. It makes the entire winter worth it, to be honest.
So when you go on vacation, we should do like a split screen podcast.
Yeah, like
you in California, me in North Dakota.
But we both have to do it outside.
Ooh.
Ryan's back here. It's like,
all right. Well, I need to look at my contract again and see. I don't think that's in there.
Well, you might get hazard pay for that, right?
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Workers' comp, frostbite.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm definitely going to do content while I'm there because the content never sleeps.
Right.
The content doesn't take vacation.
Well, and you saw that too when you went on a mini vacay this last weekend.
Yeah.
And we're plugging the podcast and.
Well, I still was doing stuff and posted a video and whatnot, but yeah, I mean, electric California Ranch Wrangler videos do.
Yeah. Have you gotten any requests in California? Maybe you should do that before you go.
Yeah, put out there of where should I go in California.
Yeah. In and out.
Yeah, we'll see. And then maybe like the adventure to try and find Busch Light in California is probably going to be. Well, you can just use the
bush locator.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That would kind of be cheating in a sense. But
yeah, but it would be interesting to see if it's 3.2 beer or not too. That could be part of it.
Yes.
So I'll be relaxing during my vacation, but I'll also be doing some content. So, yeah. I feel like Everyone has that one warm vacation that they go for every winter. That's that's when it's -30.
Yeah.
When everything's closed.
Yeah.
When are in the complete and utter defeat stage of shoveling. They just think about their 7 days in paradise.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know that's something that I look forward to for sure.
Yeah.
This You Betcha Radio podcast was brought to you by our friends at the Bev Buckle. Bev Buckle is a belt buckle that is the world's first retractable drink holder, and you can find them at bevbuckle.com. That's BEVBUCKLE.com, and you can get 15% off of your order by using promo code YouBetcha with no space, YOUBETCHA at bevbuckle.com using promo code YouBetcha for 15% off.
All right, guys. Thank you again for tuning in to episode 5 of the You Betcha Radio podcast. Remember, go follow us on social media at YouBetcha. That's at OHH YouBetcha. Any social media platform. We like to be social.
That's right. I am Miles, the You Betcha guy.
And
who are you, Ryan?
I'm Ryan, the t-shirt
No,
guy.
you are Ryan, the Clamato guy now.
Ryan, the Clamato guy.
Ryan, the Clamato guy with Miles, the You Betcha guy. We are You Betcha Radio Podcast, the coldest podcast in all of the Midwest. May your ranch always be runny and your bush light forever be cold. Cheers. Oh, God, that's cold.
Wow.
Betcha, yeah.
Yeah.